Hello, everyone. James Bushell here, and we're doing a special live impromptu Walking Dead review. It wasn't even planned or anything, just kind of spur of the moment kind of thing, just because of how we believe how strong the episode was in general. So the way this is going to work, we're going to do a spoiler-free review at the beginning. We're just going to talk about our general thoughts of the episode, how we liked it. We'll do and give it a review, a rating. And then after that, we'll get into spoilers, and we'll give a cue to when the spoilers are going to be coming. So that being said, I'll let my guests introduce themselves. LT, go first.
What's up, everybody? Cyril T. Giles here, and I'm very grateful to be a guest here on James' channel and talk Walking Dead. And I got to thank Jerry because he's the one who put he gave us the idea for this. But yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Jerry the Targaryen Steamboat here. Yeah, it looks like we're taking a page out of the Rogue Watchers. We're just going live out of nowhere here, so we got to thank them for that little impromptu idea. But yeah, just looking forward to talking The Walking Dead. Been a fan a long time. Read the comics, watching the shows at the beginning, and looking forward to talking about this episode that we just saw.
All right, I dropped out there for a second. You guys can hear me now? I'm good?
Oh, yeah.
We can hear you.
All right, good. So yeah, we'll start with giving it a rating and talk about just how we felt about the episode in general. If you want to go first, Jerry.
I'm going to go with the 9. This was pretty much an excellent episode. It was almost action all nonstop. We were introduced with a few new characters. We got like a little foreshadowing of some problems down the road. At the same time, we also hit a climax of what was going down in Alexandria, and we had a great climax, great I don't know, conflict, or however you say it, good conflict going around, and then a very satisfiable resolution to it. And I mean, it was just great on all fronts. So it's a 9. I mean, I might even, if taking another look at this episode, I might even rate it a 10. But so far, I'm sticking conservative and going with the 9 for now.
All right, LT, are you here?
Yeah, I was turning off my notifications. I didn't want my stupid thing to vibrate. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
No, I'm very pleased with this episode. I give it and I was telling Jerry this before we started recording, that I don't normally do this, but I'm giving this episode a solid 10. Hands down a 10.
10!
Right on. Yeah, I think it was a very strong episode. You had good action set pieces. You had some actual ramifications, possibly. We had some good drama, poignant drama in there. So I give it a 9.5 maybe. It was one of the better episodes this season for sure. Probably been one of the better episodes in the last year or two. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I think we've had some kind of weak episodes this season, and I think this kind of resurrected the momentum.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that this was probably the best we've seen in a year, maybe the best we've seen since the prison conclusion.
Would you agree with that, LT?
I pretty much enjoyed all of last season, and this season has caught me by storm. But yeah, this episode is good as it gets, man. I don't think they could top this, man. It's going to be really hard to top this episode. Like I said, very, very impressed. And they've upped their game with last season. They have really upped their game, and with this season, in my opinion.
Yeah. So do you have any particular strengths or weaknesses of this episode, or you want to save that for kind of when we get to the spoiler discussion?
Yeah, I'll save it for spoilers.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're pretty much here at the spoilers, so.
All right, let's just go into it. Let's talk about the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So
from the beginning.
Yeah, we'll kind of.
Spoilers for anyone who's still listening.
Yeah. The episode is obviously it just happened, so we don't have a write-up to go for an outline, so kind of go by memory. But
start with the Negan crew.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll start at the beginning. We have Negan's crew holding up Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl, and they have this nice back and forth. The guy they have talking, he's kind of a dick and real sarcastic, and he says don't talk back or whatever. Don't ask any questions. We have Abraham asking a question, and then we have this kind of tense moment where the head guy of Negan's crew is like, oh, he pulls out the guns and he's like, oh, I'm not going to kill you guys. And then Sasha tries to stick up for Abraham, and it was, oh, then I am going to kill you guys or whatever, and then kablam. So what'd you guys think of that whole sequence?
I thought it was an excellent introduction to Negan's crew. Like you said, it started off with some back and forth dialogue, which really I think helped introduce what exactly this Negan's crew is all about. It gave us a good understanding of what we're going to be dealing with, the type of people we're going to be dealing with down the road here, and that there is someone named Negan out there, and that is foreshadowing the next conflict. And at the same time, it had a nice little payoff at the end, with that boom explosion, and then also just made kind of, did some good character building with Abraham and Sasha, and then made Daryl look like a badass at the end. So can't complain. I have zero complaints on that scene. I thought it was excellent.
LT?
I remember one of us, when we did our video with Don Willie, I remember one of us said, how are they going to get out of this? And I was thinking that, I was like, when the scene started, how are they going to get out of this? What's going on? I really thought that, I thought the guy was kind of reasonable in the beginning, but he was a dick. But I thought that possibly they're just going to take them back to their camp. And then, like you said, kaboom. And I thought it was badass how Daryl must have got that guy really slick, man, because the guy didn't make no noise. We didn't hear nothing, He must have slit that guy's throat, And then, the head dude, after when he was when they were leaving and you saw his head right there, that shit was hilarious.
Now, one thing I would say is, though, the head guy, when he's giving his little speech to Abraham and Sasha, he didn't notice Daryl slipping away. Didn't question it at all. Didn't see Daryl going to the back and slipping away.
To be fair, I didn't notice it either.
I thought that, didn't the guy, he said to take him back there to open it or something?
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah,
so, it does make more logical sense that way.
That's what I'm saying. I think, they didn't show it, obviously, but I think maybe the guy was the guy, he's like, Daryl, Daryl, open it. And then Daryl's opening it, and then Daryl probably had a knife on him that the guy didn't see, and then Daryl just, but they said, didn't, that guy cut Daryl too, though, right? That's why he's getting stitched up?
Yeah, there's a guy in the back that was watching him, and Daryl just took him out.
Yeah. So I'm wondering who struck first. Daryl probably struck him first, and then he cut Daryl.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that guy had the upper hand on Daryl, so Daryl had to be badass.
Yeah.
Just.
But he had to
He had
shoot
the-
his throat
he had the
because
high
the guy didn't make no noise. We had no idea.
That's because Daryl's a stealth guy. He's like Joel from The Last of Us, all about stealth.
Yeah. So I imagine probably here in a couple episodes or something, we'll see I think my prediction is we'll see someone getting off a bike or something, and they'll just be showing his legs coming up on that scene, and maybe pick something up or whatever, or look at something on the asphalt to see where the tracks were going back to Alexandria, and obviously it'll be Negan. They won't show him yet, and they'll track him back to Alexandria. Does that seem like a logical kind of thing that might happen?
Well, I think Alexandria is actually fairly close from where they were. I would think just as they scout the area, they eventually will come up on it, so they know someone would be nearby. That's what I would think. That's what.
I just think they would want maybe come back to that scene just to show that this guy has a connection with them, just to reinforce it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's going to happen.
Do you think it possibly, you said the motorcycle, do you think the couple that took Daryl's crossbow, maybe they head to Alexandria and Negan's people, follow them? Because I think Negan's people were following them anyways, right?
That's all a little ambiguous. I mean, that could have all been a ploy to get people to fall into a trap or something, They could be working for Negan for all we know. We just
Yeah.
have to kind of wait and see how that turns out in the end. But I remember who you're talking about, the
Yeah, yeah.
the
No,
couple of
it could
moments.
totally that could totally go down the way you're saying it. It could totally show us the guy in
Oh,
multi.
those people that had like two cute girls and they died. They had to kill them. Are you talking? And then they stole the
Daryl's
motorcycle.
crossbow.
Yeah, Daryl's. Did they steal his motorcycle too, or just his crossbow? I can't
Yeah, the bike
Both.
and the crossbow.
Yeah. So we'll move on from that scene and we'll get to the stuff in Alexandria. There wasn't too much in that first break. We kind of just saw Rick and the crew out there with the guts on them. We see Gabriel volunteer to take the baby and go to the church. And we see the wolf and Denise. The wolf is like, he's got this plan to escape, and Denise is kind of having like this spastic attack, pretty much. And then it goes to commercial. Did I miss anything there? Do you guys remember, or was that about it?
No, I think that covers it, right? I think so because
that pretty much covers it. They have also was it Rosalita and the other girl that were debating on going outside, but it's like, no, we got to stay here. Nothing too important though. The big thing was that they're walking out and that the priest has to go and take the baby and should have took the kid, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, and in that same scene where Rosalita and they were debating on going out, that's when Carol woke up, right?
Yeah, and Morgan woke up shortly after.
Yeah.
I think obviously the scene is establishing a sort of redemption arc for Gabriel.
Yeah.
They're trying to make him, probably not like one of the most hated characters on the show, though I don't know, the damage is kind of done on that. But at least Rick kind of acknowledged, maybe this guy isn't as big of a baby back bitch as I thought. And yeah, you guys have anything to add on that?
Man, I mean, it's going to be hard to really reverse that. We'll get into more about Gabriel in a little bit, but he has been built as such a baby back bitch that it's going to be hard. Like, they buried him so much as a baby back bitch, it's almost like it's going to be impossible for him to crawl out of that to be anything believable of a decent fighter, or decent protector, or anything. He's a character.
Yeah, it's like Triple H came out with a shovel.
Yeah,
I think
they buried him the way that the WWE buries Daniel Bryan. That's what they did.
I think Rick showing trust enough for him to take Judith is that is big.
I mean, it's also smart. It was like kind of a desperation thing. You don't want to carry a kid that might start crying at any moment within a horde of zombies. You want to get her into a safest spot as ever. And they were doing a more dangerous task. They were trying to lead the zombies away. There's no reason to have a baby around for that.
I agree. Do you guys have anything else to add to this, or should we move on to the next segment?
Other than that, you were getting a little bit of hope for that little kid when he's like, "I'm going to be brave, guys. I'm going to do it. It's going to be. I could do this."
Yeah.
But even then, when he was saying it, he was still like shivering in his timbers and still.
So is that the next segment?
Then I think the next segment is. Let's just go to it. The night as they're walking along and the kid just loses his mind.
Yeah. So this was the pretty much one of the more shocking moments of this episode was when Rick and the gang are making their way through Alexandria with the guts on them, and where we had Sam in the last scene saying he can do this. Well, obviously he can't because he was visibly shaken. He saw the zombies, he freaked out, and he was standing still, and his ass got chomped, and they showed a kid getting his head bit off, pretty much, or he got his forehead bit in. So that was pretty cool. And then, of course, we had Jessie doing the same after seeing her son getting killed.
Her heart was broken. She died of a broken heart.
Pretty much. And then, she ended up getting bit. This scene was very similar to the comics because we had her holding on to Coral, and Rick had to begrudgingly slash her, her arm off at the wrists essentially to break the grip, and she was doomed anyway. So that being said, after that scene, we have Ron. For some reason, this is the moment he wants to take a shot at Rick. I don't understand this kid.
I don't understand that either. He's like, you.
This is the time.
This. I mean, it's obvious to anyone who watches that Rick was like, shut the fuck up. And she's just like a crazy widow, wailing witch. She's just going off, screaming. It was obviously the kid's fault and her fault for not handling the situation better. I mean, Ron, I don't know. This Ron guy has some of the most fucked up reasoning I've ever seen in a character. Even going to the first half of the season, I was like, what is he thinking? Like, what is this kid thinking? I don't understand how he comes up with the conclusions that he comes up with. Like how he blames Carl for nonsense. He's blaming Rick for nonsense. He's just a nonsensical kid, and he got what he deserved.
Well, I won't miss him any, but yeah, we had when he was holding the gun at Rick, he was pointing at Rick. He was about to fire, and then Michonne came in and gave him a katana through the heart, which he was dead. He got eaten up. And then after that, we see Ron did take a wayward shot when he got stabbed through the chest. And of course that bullet went through the eye of young Coral, which led to some chaos, to say the least. So we digested that scene. I thought it was a well done scene. It was close. It was pretty much spot on from the comic books for the most part.
It was really surreal. It was almost like dreamlike. I was like wondering, is this really going on for a second, or is this? Because as far as my comic reading, we've already passed it in the show, so this is all new stuff for me. I just really need to catch up, but yeah, I was wondering, is this really real? Because just the way it was shot almost in like a dreamlike fashion. I don't know if y'all got the same feeling.
Did you guys notice? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, LT.
Did you guys notice that when the kid, I can't think of his name, but the kid started crying?
Sam.
The camera was from his perspective, and he looked, and it was focused on some zombies, and I could have sworn he saw another little kid zombie. Was I seeing things? Okay, yeah.
He saw a little kid zombie.
Do you think that's what sparked him to start crying? Because he wasn't really crying until after he saw that, right?
I think so. I think that probably was a huge spark to it. And then they started, like, jumping from zombie to zombie face. It was almost like Michael Jackson Thriller, where all the zombies turn around and you see the camera. It was kind of like that. And then he just freaked out.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Even if he survived this, Sam was not long for the world. He was, his mental makeup was not very conducive to surviving in the Walking Dead universe.
Well, I mean, yeah, but he also could have hung out with Gabriel and, teamed up to be this baby bitch duo.
The guys that hide out in church the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, he should have gone with Gabriel. I mean, they're like two peas in a pod, those two. So.
Yeah. You have anything else to add, LT?
I didn't think they were going to kill a kid, man. I just didn't see it. I was in shock. Just like Jerry said, a dream sequence, and, it was very dramatic, but it's like, I'm not too, like you said, definitely not sad about the kids. I'm sad about Jessie because I liked her, but, whatever, the story's moving on, and it was, like you said, well done, and an awesome scene, and the whole Carl thing, I was definitely shocked by that, because I was telling Jerry that I thought it was going to happen in the garage scene when he pulled the gun on Carl last season, but when that didn't happen, I thought Carl was safe. I didn't think they were going to do it, because I knew it happened in the comics, so I thought possibly, they didn't want to, do that. Now he's just going to be a one-eyed guy. I wonder if they're going to put an eye patch on him and stuff. That was badass.
I think they will. I think eye patch is easier than, like, doing the, makeup or CGI or anything like that. Yeah. They'll probably just go with an eye patch like the way the governor did.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can call him...
Rise of the Carl.
Now we can call him Carl Crow's Eye.
Oh,
Yeah, I wonder. This
Carl
is kind of
even.
a. This is kind of a. I mean, I don't know if it's really a comic book spoiler, but I'm hoping we get more of the kind of like more angrier Carl after this, like more
I
vindictive.
believe we will. I definitely believe we will.
I mean, you got
I,
shot in the eye. I mean, you got to get mad about something.
See, I
Yeah.
like being surprised with this because, like, okay, so this is a spoiler, but it's not going to happen. And I think we talked about this last time. So, anyways, Rick's hand was supposed to get cut off, and they're not going that route. The producers said they're not doing it. So that's why I didn't think Carl was going to get his eye shot either. So, it surprised me, and I didn't think it was going to happen. So I love that. I love being
Plus, it's
surprised.
played out. I mean, you got Luke getting his hand chopped off. You got Jamie getting his hand chopped off. I mean, everyone's getting their hand chopped off. You got to, come up with something different.
Yeah.
So during the same sequence, we have the Wolf and Denise beginning their escape. They're dashed, through the line that they believe is free of zombies, but it isn't. Denise gets attacked, and we see the Wolf here. I don't believe he ever got a name on the show, but the main Wolf,
Call him Winston.
Winston, yeah, with a W. He came back and saved her. Kind of had a face. He turned face. Had a face turn here.
Yeah.
And he saved Denise and got bit for it. And then of course we kind of have a scene between Carol and Lenny James. What's his name on the show? Morgan.
Morgan.
Yeah. About essentially, Carol said, "I should have killed you, Morgan." And then of course, when Denise and the Wolf are making their escape to the medical facility to cut his arm off, Carol straight up caps his ass. And then she realizes that he was like trying to save her pretty much. And you can kind of tell that she kind of had a remorseful look on her face. Did you guys catch that?
Was that Carol or the doctor?
Carol.
She shot the Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know she shot him. So you said Carol had a remorseful look?
She kind of had a remorseful look on her face after she realized that the Wolf was kind of helping Denise.
I don't know. I didn't get that, but I guess, I mean, I think Carol's going to go by any means necessary. I think she knew what she had to do. She knew that guy had to die.
I mean, I didn't notice that, but it kind of contradicts what we hear Carol say later to Morgan when she's like, "Well, you did that for you." Like, I think if she would have been remorseful, she wouldn't have said
that
right.
That conversation happened before she capped the guy, though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something, James. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, I'd go back.
That.
I'd go back and look because she had a remorseful look on her face, like she was saying, like, Morgan was right. Maybe people can change. I think that's kind of what that thing was aiming for there.
She had that Rocky IV moment. She's like, everyone could change.
I think it will be really cool if what's the doctor's name? Denise. If she could tell Morgan that what the Wolf did for her, maybe that'll make Morgan feel a little bit better because he probably feels like an asshole for letting all this happen.
I don't know. I think Morgan is in his he's got the mindset now. Like, if they do this and it goes bad 99 out of 100 times, well, that one time it was worth it for that one time that it worked. I think Morgan's in that mindset right now.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have some conversation in the future. So after that, Denise gets to the infirmary, and we have the gang, well, really just Rick, Carl, and Michonne busting into the infirmary. We see Carl is about to get some medical aid, and Rick goes out and he goes ham. He goes beast mode on them zombies. And,
I said before, I thought he belonged to House Forrester the way he was handling that axe.
Yeah, and he also reminded me of in the movie The Patriot, Mel Gibson's character goes postal and he's just chopping that guy up, and that's what that reminded me of.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. We have others coming and helping Rick. We have Michonne going out there after Carl is stabilized or whatever, and along with some other people like Aaron and Keith, and another character that I don't remember exactly. They're trying to help
Dr.
Rick.
Dre or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
From Seattle Compton.
they're fending off the zombies, and then we see a scene with Enid and Glenn in the church. I don't know. It is what it was. It was like Enid kind of, I guess, turning a leaf. You know, she was in her emo loner phase, and now she's actually accepting being part of the group, I guess. And we see the two rushing off towards Maggie, and we see Maggie's in trouble. And we have Glenn doing the whole self-sacrificial thing. You know, he's shooting the gun to attract the zombies. We have Enid grabbing Maggie, and obviously Maggie's looking concerned because she has no bullets, and Glenn is surrounded by zombies. And of course, by an immaculate act, we have...
Oh, hold on. Before we get to this immaculate act, I want to mention what this whole scenario reminded me a lot of Lord of the Rings, the Battle of Helm's Deep. Like, at this part, you know, it's where everything's going wrong. You know, you're tossing the dwarf to try and get things like going, and all the orcs are coming around. You're like, oh, the elves come, but they're still getting overwhelmed. And I think the immaculate moment is similar to, well, the immaculate moment you saw in the Battle of Helm's Deep. You know, Gandalf comes out. Instead of Gandalf here, instead of a white
Abraham.
Gandalf, we got a very red Abraham here.
Yeah.
Abraham the Red.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
What was that? What were we gonna say, Elton?
I was just gonna say, what was that? Did Glenn tell Eden he was like, you know, he was telling her that everybody that's dead is still with you because you're still here, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I like that. I like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
And he mentioned Dale and
Herschel.
you know, yeah, and Herschel, and
Yeah.
it's like it makes you miss those characters more.
Yeah, opened up some wounds there. Herschel was my dude, man. I loved Herschel, man. He was a cool character.
Yeah, some of those talks between Herschel and Rick were so awesome.
Yeah.
But
he's one of the characters that's better in the show than in the comic. In the comic, he has some douchey things to say at times. But yeah.
Yeah, but in the show, he was like a kind old grandfather.
Yeah, he was badass.
Yeah, but yeah. So here we have Abraham and Sasha and Daryl spraying a hail of machine gun fire.
Yeah.
Machine gun fire at the zombies, and somehow Korean Jesus does not get hit by a single bullet.
Yeah, he was like the Matrix in that stuff. Bullet time dodging, like, like he just he knew exactly when to drop, to where it still hit the zombie like that was, you know, 6 inches ahead of him, but it missed Glenn. It was amazing.
It's pretty clear to me that Glenn is Ironborn. What is dead may never die. But
I really thought Glenn was finished here. I mean, just like last time we saw, you know, what happened. I really thought he was done.
Well, you know what really has been going on here is that you haven't seen it. He's hiding in the background, but we got Thoris and Mir resurrecting Glenn at each point. Like the zombies were biting him after they cleared out. You know, Thoris came and resurrected him, and then Glenn really did get shot, but then, you know, Thoris came and resurrected him.
See, I didn't think Glenn was going to die because I felt like if he is going to die, it's going to be perhaps at a different moment. I didn't think this would be the moment. That being said, we won't go delve into that too much.
We can say that for the end here, for predictions later on.
So yeah, we have then Daryl and the crew pouring gasoline into the water around, or is it into a ditch or was it into water? I couldn't tell.
The water.
It looks like, well, a ditch does have water.
Yeah, like it was a drainage. I think it led to the same area where Maggie and who's that? Maggie and the mayor girl walked to try and save, because Maggie wanted to go save Glenn. Remember?
Yeah.
So I think that's where the water was leading to.
Yeah. So
that was a huge fire. Like they're lucky that didn't like get out of control and like burn all of Alexandria down. If that would have happened, Daryl.
Yeah.
Like, oh damn it! What did I do?
Yeah. At this point, we had the whole the whole survivors out there, like in a circle, fending off the zombies at that time, and it was a fire ex machina there. And then we saw how one thing I like is how dumb the zombies are. They're just like, oh, fire, let's go walk in it. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, that was essentially the end of the big action set piece.
Did any of y'all think that the zombies that it was unbelievable that they were taking on so many zombies? I mean, at first I thought that, but then I kind of like noticed these zombies, they're getting weaker. They're getting like more skeleton-like, and I'm assuming that means they're decaying more, and they're probably getting weaker because of it. And then not to mention, you know, everyone's getting better with fighting, but it wasn't that unbelievable when I thought about that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Sounds logical to me. Eventually, they'll look like the fucking skeletons that attacked Bran and ran them by the tree.
It'll be like Evil Dead or Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 3.
Yeah. Maybe that's maybe that'll be the way they end the show. Maybe, I mean, we don't know. Maybe it'll be like they decay to the point where they just all are just brittle and dead. I don't know.
Well, I wonder if when. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, LT.
I was just saying, I wonder if the zombies eat. Does that stop them from decaying? Do they get stronger? If they eat something, if they feed, they're stronger and more powerful. Yeah.
They're like Alien.
Because I mean, if they don't eat, they'll probably starve to death and die, right? They have to eat flesh.
Well, their digestive system doesn't work, so I don't know. But I mean, then again, if you think about it, they should have decayed a long time ago. So maybe you might be onto something there. It might be biting on human flesh keeps them younger in a way. Elizabeth Botry kind of way. I don't know.
I would need to study one of the zombies, get the biological readings from it, and see what happens.
We need that guy back from the CDC.
Yeah, Jenner.
Yeah, Jenner. We need Jenner back.
Yeah. So after that, the big action set piece is over. We have the end sequence with Rick and Coral having a poignant moment there where Rick is crying and saying, he wants to show him the world or whatever, want to protect him or whatever, and
it's like Aladdin. I will show you the world.
Yeah. And then we see Coral respond and move his fingers and clasp Rick's hand and fade to black. So that was the end of the episode. Do you guys know if I missed anything major throughout the episode? Was there any major scenes we missed?
I don't think so.
We pretty much covered all the major scenes, yeah.
I got a question for you guys now. The bullet that shot Carl had to hit him like sideways, right? It couldn't have gone straight because it would have gone through his eye to his brain, right?
Depends on how the bullet.
Yeah, like that, came in kind of like bottom of his cheek, or the top part of his cheek or whatever. I couldn't miss it. Probably to me one of those situations where it misses his brain by like a centimeter or something,
Yeah, he got really lucky then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you can get lucky when you're being written that way.
He's been lucky a few times. This is like the second time he's gotten shot. Carl, he's indestructible. He's like Glenn. They're indestructible.
Yeah.
One of the dramatic scenes was a few seasons ago, right before they went to Terminus, when those guys that Daryl was with tried to jack them, and they were actually mentioning they're going to rape Carl. And then remember when Rick bit the guy's throat? That was a very dramatic scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. So that was pretty much it. Do you guys want to talk about anything else? Did you want to go into predictions, or would that be kind of spoilery, or do you want to talk about the preview, or?
We can go into predictions.
Well, you got any major predictions you wanna talk about?
Well, I guess let me think here. Well, obviously we're gonna get Negan's crew is gonna come up next. I think Glenn has been living on the edge a little too much. I think Negan's crew will be the end for Glenn. And I think you're right. It's going to happen at the end of the season. So I'm not too sure who else is leaving. Oh, I guess one thing we did leave out. Let's go back a minute. Father Gabriel grabbing a machete. and he's like, "It's time. It's time for me to go defend. God has given me the courage to defend it myself." He had his face turn and his nice little speech to go with it.
Have you guys ever saw the movie Dead Alive, Peter Jackson's movie?
Yeah, kicks
Okay,
ass for the
remember
Lord.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I kick ass for the Lord.
Yeah.
I kick ass for the Lord. Yeah. So that would have been better if actually if you'd have said that God has given me the courage. I'm gonna go kick ass for the Lord. That would have been like that would have been the only way to save Gabriel from being such a baby bitch that he's been before. If he would have said that line, it would have been like, this dude is awesome. There's no other way to say it. Everything is forgiven just because he said that line.
Or what about our... Oh, sorry, James.
I was saying, and he became like the next Constantine.
Oh God. Let's not get carried away here.
What about from Dusk Till Dawn, where George Clooney's character says, "Are you a mean motherfucking servant of God?"
But yeah, so that's obviously more of his redemption arc.
They need someone like that in from Dusk Till Dawn. They need someone like Sex Machine in this one. Like a zombie comes to bite him, and he just pulls up his crotch and like blows the zombie away. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give a spoiler alert here. So I'm gonna give some predictions here that I think based off of the comics and some other things. I'm gonna make two predictive deaths here. Obviously, I think Glenn will be the one to die from Negan, because one, they need to kill someone of major consequence with Negan to bring up the hatred. We saw the response that Glenn got the first time we thought he died. It was pretty major, so to me it has to be either Daryl or Glenn, and I think naturally it's going to be Glenn, just based off of the comic and how it also propels Maggie's storyline.
He's also been skitting with death for a lot too, so it's like, everyone's starting to feel safe with Glenn. He's cheating death left and right. Eventually it's going to catch up to him.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. Korean Jesus. Anything can happen. But my other one. Okay. So, in the comic books, Abraham takes a crossbow bolt to the eye, and the one that does it is, and this is the reason why I said earlier that the couple that stole the
motorcycle
bike, and the motorcycle and the crossbow could be actually working for Negan. It could have been employed because the person that kills Abraham in the comic books, his name is Dwight. And I looked it up. That character's name is Dwight, the one that stole the crossbow from Daryl.
Now, do you think that they were working for Negan the whole time, or do you think that since they left with the bike, they might have been captured by Negan and converted?
Could have been, or like maybe they were escaping. The Negan's like, I'll give you guys another chance if you do this or whatever.
Okay.
It could be something like that. But
yeah,
it's just, good I mean, I just find it kind of coincidental that the character who got Daryl's crossbow's name is Dwight, and that's who kills Abraham.
One thing is also, let's talk about like kind of predictions. This show or this series, it's a lot of rehab. Like we're seeing a lot of the same things happen over and over again. I feel like the Rick character goes in as like a circle from his peak. He's like kind of like a wave graph. He just keeps going in peaks. One peak is where he's crazy. He's got to kill everybody. He don't trust anybody. And then at his lower peak, he's gonna be like it's when he's like farming and stuff, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with guns, kind of thing. I think we're about ready to hit. I think we've reached the peak, and I think we're about ready to hit farming style. I don't know if it'll be farming again, but it's gonna be something style Rick this time, and I think maybe the Negan stuff will come climbing back. We can't trust anybody again.
Yeah, I'm actually expecting kind of a lull here for a couple episodes. Maybe some things pop up here and there, some crazy things, but I'm expecting kind of a lull until we get Negan back, or Negan into the story.
Okay. Yeah. What about
James,
you? Do you have any?
I was gonna say, James, you really think that those major deaths will happen this season? You don't think it can make it till next season?
I think Glenn for sure. or at least someone is going to take a baseball bat to the
Yeah,
mouth.
I think you're right. I think it could possibly be Daryl because Daryl's actually filming another show. It's a bike series for AMC, and I think it could possibly be Daryl. And I think that would be more shocking than even Glenn because Daryl's a fan favorite, and I think a lot of people will be very disappointed. I think it's good television. I love Daryl as a character too, and I'd definitely be sad to see him go. But I think it would be great television, and it will shake the internet. So I think it should be Daryl. Not that I want him to go, but it's gonna happen, regardless.
If Ned Stark can die, Daryl can die.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely got to be one of the two. I mean, it can't be, Aaron, for instance, or it can't be the guy with the dreadlock teeth. It can't be one of those people. It's got to be
Dr. Dre. It can't be him.
Yeah, it's got to be. We're gonna say.
What episode do you guys think we're gonna get Jesus?
I
think we already have in Glenn.
No, you.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get him next episode or because in the previews, did you guys see they were like somebody had a gun and they're like back up, and that could be that could totally be him.
Because I know for sure he's in this season from.
Oh yeah, that's where we saw the picture where
preseason. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's got to be pretty soon because I'm trying to think. It's probably gonna be like what 8 episodes, 8 or 9 until the season's over.
Yeah, I think it's 8 per like session, like 8 in the first, 8 in the second, right? So we got 7 more. So
it's actually probably a pretty good call, LT. I think that he will be in next episode.
Mm-hmm. So we got what? This series would wrap up before Fear comes back, right? Because Fear the Walking Dead comes back April 10th. They showed, or April 7th or something like that. And then it will come back for the following season in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We're getting ahead of ourselves there with talking Fear the Walking Dead. Unless you want to talk about the Fear the Walking Dead that comes in the commercials. You want to talk about those?
The little
the short 2-minute clips.
I kind of missed them because since I was watching it live, I switched to the All-Star game and then switched back, so I kind of missed that.
This one was a little different. This one had they're in the plane. Well, finally someone turns and they are like he's going crazy. He's trying to bite everyone. He's like, and so a guy gets him. He puts him like in the sleeper hold, like the $1 Million Dream. He puts him in that, and then the guy's still biting into stuff and scratching, or he's trying to scratch, and the guy's like, "Don't let him bite him." And so they throw him in the bathroom, and and then after that they lock him in there, and they're like, "Okay." But then at the last clip, you see the stewardess has gotten scratched. So
yeah,
that was on that.
I was wanting to see, and this is Valentine's Day. I wanted to see they didn't show us. Show Glenn and Maggie hugging they're so happy. They saw each other, but they should have did that for this episode since it is on Valentine's Day. We didn't see that. I thought they should have done that.
Kind of like when I was kind of like when Tyrion killed Tywin on Father's Day.
yeah. So what did you guys think? We didn't talk about this. What did you guys think about Morgan seeing the wolf as a zombie and taking him out?
It's pretty much just what he said. Sorry, he should have done more. He's not going to beat himself over with it, but Morgan knows he tried. He knows he gave it his best shot. That's all he can do. He's probably going to continue living his life like that.
I still don't know how he kills zombies by just whacking him in the head, side of the head. He doesn't even impale him with it. He just whacks them in the side of the head.
It probably smashes their brain in.
Yeah, I suppose.
At this point, look at how much they're coming apart. But at this point, it probably doesn't take much of a hit to, break through their skull and crush their brain.
Yeah.
You read my mind, James, because that's what I was going to ask you guys, that question you just asked. Now, question to you guys. Could 5 Morgans and 5 Oberons take out all those zombies?
I just think 5 Oberons by themselves could take out the zombies.
He's the both.
Unless one of the zombies had the information about who gave the order, then then maybe not. It might be an issue, but as long as he's just killing, yeah, Oberyn probably could take them all out by himself. 2 Oberyns probably could take them all out. So.
Yeah.
Especially if he has like someone handing him lances, like spears left and right. The real question is, could Obaro throw spears at these zombies and hit him in the head? You know, like as you're throwing spears at that guy in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how many viewers do we have?
I don't know.
Only like 4 right now.
5.
So what we're gonna do now is we'll rehash our rating, and now since we're like kind of like spoiler stuff, you can talk about your main highlights from this episode, your favorite part. Jerry.
All right, my rating's still a 9. Like I said, it was very similar, like to the Battle of Helm's Deep to me in the structure of this whole thing, and that's a good. But it did it in its own unique way, its own style, and that's a good thing. That was a great scene in Lord of the Rings. It's a great scene here. Easy 9, maybe even better.
Yeah, I never really do this. I mean, the last episode of anything, and this is what defined last season of not Walking Dead, I'm sorry, but of Game of Thrones was Hardhome, and 10, and the episode 10, action-packed from the beginning. When I'm watching this and Daryl fucking blows those guys up with the rocket launcher, I'm like, this is gonna be a great episode, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. It comes on again at 9. I'll be recording it. I'm gonna be watching it again and again, probably like at least 4 more times.
And I want to emphasize here. In this episode, a really cute girl died, and when a cute girl dies, the ladies' man heart breaks, and he still gave it a 10.
Oh yeah.
He still gave it a 10 despite that.
Definitely.
And LT, when you rewatch this episode, make sure you look at Carol's face after she kills the wolf.
You know,
no, definitely. I definitely will.
Yeah. So yeah, I give this episode a 9. Very strong episode. Great action and great drama mixed in. I'll say the highlight of this episode is definitely the Andersons as a clan ending in one fell swoop.
House Anderson goes down.
Yeah. Jesse, Sam, and Ron, it was nice knowing you. Well, actually, Ron, I could care less. Sam, I could care less. Jesse, you were cool, but I mean, you were not super major, so.
This shit, dumbass kids with the dumbass fathers, so what happens?
Yeah. So yeah.
That's a lesson for all women. Choose your men right, or else kids might end up stupid as well.
I have to say, Rick's still like, even when Rick is mourning, like when he saw Jesse dying, he's still a badass, man. He's like, oh gosh, he's still a fucking badass.
It's like, man, I was gonna tap that later. Oh, what am I gonna do? Just left in my hand. Thank God the show didn't take it from me.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, I give it a 9, and that was the best scene of the episode. Any last things you guys want to say?
I just want to say, don't worry, LT. Another cute girl will come along, and Rick will get all thirsty all over again. This was way better than The Talking Dead. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So that's all I gotta say.
Right on. LT?
Yeah, like I always say, it's always an honor, James, being on your channel. I'm grateful to be here. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to James, to my channel. Follow us all on Twitter. We'll follow you back. And yeah, real happy.
Yeah, I'll have the links in the description. So subscribe to their channels. Maybe Jerry will make a video sometime, and LT makes videos. Sometimes about random stuff, sometimes about Game of Thrones, kind of whatever he wants to make videos on. That's pretty cool. So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Later.
Peace.